Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay. Shalom, Biggie. Hello, Jay.
Hey, guys.
You're a little smiley over there. What's going on?
I'm reading Mike Lindell's little deal under his MyPillow towels.
Yes.
Yeah, towels that work. Just like all of you have problems with towels, they feel
Yes.
lotiony. They feel lotiony and soft,
lotiony towels.
but they don't seem to dry you. I started asking around and found out towels changed around 2006. They're made to feel good to the touch, but they don't absorb. That's why I developed My Towels. My towels are not only soft, but they actually work.
What's in the My Towel that's doing this? Is this
Man, to do some research.
Jesus? Is it Giza? Did he buy up all the world's something to make this new great towel?
I think he bought up all the world's sham wows and
Yeah.
stitched them together, honestly.
It's like a sham wow, but way better. My wife's really gonna be upset about this.
Yeah,
I have a
I'm
feeling
excited.
they'll crush with My Towel.
Sure.
Honestly, of all the things, because remember when we were there, we were having a discussion with them, like, what's next? Like, what else can you make?
Wonka, sir. Mr. Wonka, what can you do?
I was thinking stadium seats. Mm-hmm. When you go to the stadiums and, if you got My Stadium seat,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. I don't remember. I thought we came up with a couple ideas that weren't bad, that we were like, take those. If you want to make those, go
I think
ahead.
I said towels.
Did you?
No.
I thought you had one, Jay, one idea that was like, that's not bad. I'm going to do that one.
I don't
that's
remember.
Hilarious, man. How was your weekend? Pretty
Great.
good?
Yeah, ended up going to get Manny on Friday and went up to a MSU hockey game, which was fun. Hadn't been to one of those in years.
What does the band play at those games?
Yeah, they have like a brass section that,
So it's like a partial band.
tucks in next to the student section. Yeah, it's
Right.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So that was fun, and brought him home because he wanted to go to the high school marching band state finals last night. So we went
Yeah.
to that. Where yes, Plymouth Canton goes down in flames.
What?
Yes. The
Wait.
3 schooled up proper
Yeah.
band Plymouth Canton came
Yeah.
in third. Wah, wah.
They came in third, but
Yeah.
they've got 3 high schools
Isn't that
making
something?
one band.
I know.
It's a super group.
It is.
And how do they come in third? Are people catching that? Have you bitched enough over the last few years about this, the highway robbery that's going on with the competing
No,
schools?
because that would fundamentally alter whether they're eligible for said competition or not. I mean, they are the only organization in the whole state that takes 3 schools, combines them to one, and forms one marching band.
It's super groups.
Third. But
Are
they
they-
came in third. Ha! Isis. Who came in second? Guess.
I don't know.
Lake Orion.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Who came in first? Our friends at Rockford.
Really?
Yes.
I would think they would be rivals at Rockford. No?
Well, we like them because remember they sort of sparked that controversy I had with Plymouth Canton a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
This Rockford that I was arguing should have won.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, I remember that now.
So
Yeah.
I've always been partial to Rockford.
Sure. So you weren't on the pitch this weekend at all? No time spent on the pitch. Sounds like.
Russell had some pitch time, so I was
Yeah.
over there. Yeah.
How's he doing? What does he have broken on him now?
Nothing. He's good,
what?
man. Yeah.
No wrist, no ankles, no nothing.
It's been really good. Yeah.
Incredible. Is he just crushing?
He's doing well.
He's a talented little fucking
Oh,
soccer
thank
player.
you.
Yeah.
He's a good boy.
Handsome boy.
Oh, wow.
Both your boys.
Permed up
Good.
proper.
Yeah, he's permed up proper. Looks good on him. I wanted to laugh so hard at him until you showed me the picture. I was like, all right, he actually looks kind of badass. Have you gotten used to it now?
Yeah. It's relaxed a lot too. So.
Has it? Yeah. Is he using a relaxant in
No,
the shower
he
now?
wants it to stay curly.
Good for him. That's funny. What a fun time over the weekend. J. Chris Newberg was in town for a series of shows. It was weird not having either of you guys there. Everyone's like, "Where's Isis?" And I was like, "I don't know. I didn't know." But you were going to a concert that you previously had tickets for, E. So
Correct.
I guess
Sorry.
you're off the hook on that one.
What'd you see, Isis?
Millennium.
All right.
Which was actually, I have to say, the best non-festival set I've ever seen out of a DJ personally.
Get on your
it
feet,
was
Tomorrowland.
Fucking
Yeah.
incredible.
Where was it?
Masonic Temple, thanks
Yeah.
to Jack White, apparently,
There you go,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, he did.
No, I gotta say, I don't know who did it, by the way, because I don't save everyone's numbers. I give out my phone number all the time. I don't care, but I don't save everyone's numbers. Because I just
It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. He's
I
just
don't
got
know who they
random
are.
numbers in his phone,
Yeah.
no name. He doesn't bother putting a name in.
not all the time. And so I got these. I got a text at one point, like saying just like, "Hey, you're going to that?" I'm like, I wanted to, but I already went to already got tickets to Above and Beyond. I had to make the choice. It's like cool. And then I got a text at some point. Something came up. He's like, "Man, something came up. I know you'd appreciate it. You want me to email them to you?" I'm like, Fuck yes.
Thank you, nameless
So
guy.
thank you, nameless texter, for tickets to the most
What
incredible
area
fucking
code?
show.
What area code was he in?
I could look it up. I don't remember.
That's really astounding.
But thank you for him. Like, it was an incredible fucking. Jay, you won't be able. You can't watch these shows.
Yeah, I'll
you
seize.
cannot
you'd
watch
seize
these
for
shows.
I'll
sure.
seize and release my bowels. That's unfortunate because I'm
too bad.
partial to the music.
What?
Can't you blind yourself before going
the
in?
thing
Like
is,
go
like-
in there with some sort of
Just
patch
feel,
structure. Yeah.
feel the
At
music.
that point, the problem is like you might as well just listen to it in your car because the sensory
No,
part
but
is
he
so
can feel
much.
the beat, and plus, don't
Yeah.
they say your other senses take over? Like if you blind yourself, I don't know if
heard
it's
that.
immediate.
Actually, you're right. If you went to a Masonic Temple show and sat in a lower level GA, it's kind of because it's so old, and so they have a balcony, and stuff. But the lower level is just a really low ceiling, man. So if you're like 10 rows back in that lower level, you can see, but not very well. So maybe if you just sit in the last row of the lower level and just kind of like
I think you get
listen to the music.
I think you patch up your eyes and get a walking stick. People will help you.
Yeah.
They'll move you around. They'll put you in a special section.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Your other senses will take over
Sounds
and help.
promising.
And you're going to feel that beat drop
You
probably
know what's
better than anybody.
Funny too is like I actually was like in line. There was a long fucking line to get in, and I was by myself, just solo going again. And randomly, some friends pop out of an Uber, and they were there, and I stood in line with them. But this girl, like, she's nice and everything, but she's like, every time her and her little clique that go to these shows, it's always like run around. Also, now they got to go to the bathroom. Also, they got to do something, and they're gone for like a whole set of somebody, or they want to leave early. So I 100% just took advantage of like talking to them in the line, because the line's the hardest part if you're by yourself. When you're sitting
Yeah.
by yourself and you're just like, oh, I'm in line. And so like I sat with them in
Everybody's
line.
like,
and
look at the guy
Yeah.
alone.
I know,
alone.
dude.
myself,
And I'm like,
Jesus Christ.
and here's the other thing, because I'm in this situation with the girl, like I don't even care. Like I didn't dress in any capacity to quote unquote impress for like an EDM show. Like
Yeah,
I
you're
wore
done.
my comfortable shoes. I wore just a hoodie, a nondescript hoodie, and jeans. And so everyone else is in their tapestries and they're just like crazy like Aladdin
He just
pants
thinks
and
he's
shit.
won. He
And so-
doesn't have to try at all
No,
anymore.
it's not that I don't have to try, but if I'm going by myself solo, if I was going with my girl, I would have put on like my kind of
My girl.
EDM, my
Just
EDM
going
kind
with
of
my
stuff
girl.
or whatever. But like by myself, I'm just dressed comfortably and warm, and so yeah, I would have looked fucking. Like this guy's a narc, probably looking to see who's doing drugs or something. But I went through the line with those people, and after that, bounced and just went by myself and stood and watched the entire
I
show.
wouldn't expect
Like,
you to stay with them, especially if they're fucking annoying.
Right.
And
They're nice,
Having
but
a good
just in the
time.
show, they're kind of annoying. So yeah,
Yeah.
thank you to that listener. It was incredible.
Nameless listener
Nameless
guy.
listener, I appreciate
Or
it.
girl.
Or girl, right. Or whoever they define it.
as I was saying, Newberg was in town, and he had to re-record his album. He's got a new album coming out, and the record label wants to put a new album out because after he spent 77 weeks on the Billboard charts, and so he recorded it at Ridley's the last time he was here, and that recording was all fucked up. So he hated the audio on it. So he was re-recording last night. He had Travis there, who once again, Sexy Eases, Hot Eases, just
Yeoman's work.
kills it, dude. He's got 2 boards there, a fucking MacBook. He's headphoned up, and he's like, "Don't talk to me, fuck off." He's stressing. I'm like, dude, just chill. He got there a day early and went in the rafters and hung fucking microphones that he bought so he could capture proper crowd noise. Hilarious, dude. Hilarious. But he, great job. And he mixed it all and was running everything and, just stayed back there. But everything went great because Chris first did his podcast, right, at 5 o'clock or whatever, and then did two sold out shows, 7 and 9:30. And it was a lot of fun. He had me go up there with him and kick things around. And I don't know how, Jay, but I ended up telling the story of our old friend Bob from our days working at the apartment complex.
Yeah.
And Bob was the one that originally told us about cowboy boots and was it goats or sheep?
I don't think that's the case, but okay, if you remember it
Oh,
that way.
fuck yeah.
I think there was a guy at Gene's Hardware that told us that, but whatever. Whatever.
No, this is a key,
I don't want,
this
you know.
is a key detail because I definitely said it was. And T-Roy yells out the name of the place. I was like, "Thanks, asshole." I try not to say it,
14 and Drake.
Yeah, right. Dude, yeah, no, it was Bob because Bob also told us the story about grabbing the goose by the neck, swinging around, and then he would run over the frogs.
Yes.
Yeah, I swear, dude, it was him. And so he was like, "Yeah, you gotta." Was it sheep or goats? It was goats. Sheep. Okay, fuck that all up. It's like you gotta grab them by the back hands and stick those in your the front of your boots so they can't kick you when you're back there. And it was something that like he and a few friends had done. It wasn't even a big
I don't
deal.
want to disparage the memory of Bob, okay?
Yeah.
Bob, this
a
is not
guy.
Bob. This was a guy at Jeans Hardware who told us this. Bob was...
Who was it at Jeans?
Just some dude, man. Some rando. He was like a friend of one of the workers there.
It involved sheep or goat fucking, though. I got that part
The
right.
core of your story is correct.
correct.
Yes.
We had numerous jobs, so if I screwed up the job, fine.
I think the main substance of the story is the putting of the backhands of the sheep into the cowboy boots.
Yeah.
That's kind of what matters to
Into
this.
the boots, like that's. You
Yeah.
guys have told us,
So
but
they
I never
can't kick
get
you.
it.
So it can't kick you when you get
See, Bob
get
didn't
behind
have
there.
a voice like that, and he wasn't a sheep fucker.
Are
No,
you
he
sure
wasn't.
about
No,
that? Okay.
I'm not going to
but doesn't
disparage the good name of Bob.
okay? But doesn't that say like you don't put new laws on the books, new rules in place until there's an incident that requires them to be put on the books, right? So doesn't that say whoever this
No
was,
cowboy boots?
you know, if went in without sans cowboy boots a time or two and probably just got his shins blown out.
Oh, yeah, I see
you know
what
what I
you're
mean?
saying,
And
yeah.
it was like, oh man, we got to come up with a solution for this. This ain't gonna work if they're gonna be all kicking us and shit.
No, it's arguable that that's the history of cowboy boots. You know, not that this guy just found a use for them, but that's what they're absolutely used for, and that's why they are what
Really?
they are.
So
One
some-
could argue.
So someone got his shins blown out and was like, we need to come up with a tough boot.
Yeah, we'll call them cowboy boots.
Stick with me here.
Oh no.
I mean, you've seen women with them big boots up to their knees, kind of like that, but tough for men.
Yep.
You know, alligator skin and whatnot.
Real pointy toe.
Real pointy toes.
Let's make them
man-like.
real uncomfortable.
Why does a pointy toe have to do with the fucking?
Nothing. It's just an added benefit.
Oh, it is.
Yeah. So yeah.
The pointy toes so you can just easily get it in the
Shit
stirrups,
kickers.
right?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Is that what it is?
Probably.
Yeah. And obviously, it makes sense because why would the boots be as wide as they
Big
are?
heel, so the heel kind of hits the stirrup and sets in there, right?
It's a well-designed boot.
It is.
I mean, it seems like there's not
Some
any ways-
practicalities there,
Yeah.
several of them, as discussed.
I mean, who would have thought? It makes sense to get in easier in the stirrup, and then that heel catches, and then
the top part.
It's
as
actually
you said,
fun when you're
it's got
sitting at
enough
the-
room to put sheep's legs in.
I gotta
great.
be honest. It's fun when you're sitting at the bar stool, when you're sitting up at the bar rail,
Yeah.
because then you fucking put those heels right up
Yeah.
against the fucking bar rail. And that
settle
kinda-
them on in
yeah,
there.
Hell yeah.
Are
Fuck
they
yeah.
comfortable? I imagine there's uncomfortable cowboy
Dude, I
boots.
used to have some when I was little, man.
Really?
Yeah, when I was probably like 8 or 9, and they were really
did you get, like,
uncomfortable.
here's the
but
problem,
they
though.
were
Did you get-
cheap as
That's
fuck.
what I was
I'm
gonna
sure.
ask. Did
They're
you get
probably
real
vinyl.
ones?
They
Yeah.
weren't even
Yeah.
leather. You know.
Were you little kid, like 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I had my straw cowboy hat, and I.
Oh, you
Oh,
see, like I
that's
said,
cool.
no
I could-
offense, but those were, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh
there's
yeah.
a difference between.
Oh,
like,
I'm sure there's people who swear by them and would like run a marathon in them. You know,
Yeah.
just like army boots. People say when you break
Really?
those in, they're super comfortable.
They look so uncomfortable to me, cowboy boots.
I will say, I mean, I'm not someone who rides cowboys, so I don't know what people do that are or, like rides horses and shit. So I don't know what people that do, like Jay said, they probably get so used to them. But I wear them when I go to my country concerts, and I will say I enjoy them. But at the end of the night, I'm ready to usually take them off too.
Don't you feel like they need some tread on the bottom?
Oh, they're slippery as fuck.
Yeah.
And mine are terrible because it's been
Sure.
years now. So I've
Yeah.
had mine since 2001, I think, or something. So
Yeah, why don't they have tread on the bottom? I mean, let's talk this
Like
through,
rubber
gentlemen.
sole?
Well, I mean, they,
I think you can get some styles with tread, but you're right. The original, the one.
you know, there's around mud and messed up
Yeah.
hay and shit. You know, walking
Yeah.
through cow shit, horse shit. Why wouldn't you want some sort of tread?
Do you want to go home every night and be picking with a
True.
pen cap, picking shit out of the holes? And that sucks. All you got to do is rough up the bottom, something, whatever. You know, I mean, it sucks when you step in dog shit or something. You know, it's under a leaf, never saw it.
Oh,
Mush is right in there. Ugh.
nothing worse. Nothing worse.
And then a bunch of people showed up here after the shows, and so this place
Is that why there's leaves all over
yeah,
the floor?
there's leaves on the floor, and I don't know what fucking animal was here, but I walked downstairs and it's just like that, just a giant spill that someone was like, well, that'll be for someone else to deal with on the tile or the slate at the front door, just a spill. It's like whoever did that knows they did that. You can't make that size of a spill and not be aware of it. You should clean this up.
You know, this is not what happened in your situation, but it did make me think of this. This is not even close, but like it made me recall this time. So there was a period right before my internship where I was living at my friend's house for a little bit, Burley's house, in his basement, and I had just I had it personally because at the time I wasn't really drinking. I was trying to run more often and this and that.
Irrelevant.
And it's relevant because
Okay.
he was having parties all the time. And it's ironic that this period of my life that I was basically not partying was the first time I'd moved out of my house. And anyway, I got to the point where I fucking hated him so much, but I hadn't quite moved out yet. And I was doing things where people weren't doing the dishes, and I was literally taking my one dish and I'd eat out of my one bowl and my one fork, and I'd wash it and bring it to my room,
college
shit like
style,
that.
baby.
And so anyway, I got to this point on New Year's Eve where I was out. Knew I was going to be out in a few weeks, and I was so fucking mad at him that there's this party and then there's crackers and stuff like that, and I was dropping it on the floor in front of Ty, going oops, and just stomping them into the fucking
Very real mature.
I know, dude.
Real mature.
Crushing them into the carpet and just squishing them and go, oh, what a damn shame.
That'll show him. E.
I know.
Where'd you poo and leave it?
I didn't do that, but I mean, I just
Sure.
do remember purposely that night doing
Yeah.
several spill situations.
Wow,
where,
good to know.
Yeah.
Speaks to his
Said he'll-
character.
Oh, absolutely. If you,
Well, I mean, dude,
if he feels slighted in any way by you, he's going to go out of his way to mess up your
grown,
shit.
Jay, that was 9 years. Are you the same person you were 9 years ago?
Yes, he is.
Well, yeah,
almost
you are.
exactly.
You are,
the
but
same.
Mike, are you?
He's exactly
Are
the
you?
same as he was 29 years
Are
ago.
you, Mike?
Yeah, probably. Very immature.
Well, see, I'm not. I would not do that again. But
Okay. Well, I know there's changes of you, E. Obviously you're growing up and maturing, and people have noticed, Jay.
Yeah?
I had multiple people last night be like, "Man, what's with E's? He seems very combative with you." And I was like, "I know, I feel that too." And they're like, "I don't think I like it." I was like, "I don't
they
I
either."
think I like it.
oh, I bet
Yeah.
you don't.
Get
well,
me.
I mean, I'm not being combative.
Yeah, well, take it up with the people.
I think what those sheep are doing is listening to your arguments and you're yelling and then just assuming
See,
that that's what's happening.
he would never have done that 2 years ago.
But what's
That
all
statement
that's
right there.
happening is I
Insulted the listeners and me.
He would have insulted the listener.
Yeah, he
yeah,
would've.
I definitely would have. But
Yeah.
they're just following their cult leader, as it were,
Yeah.
and sheepishly listening to your anger
Speaking
and
of
not hearing that I'm just, I'm not yes, maybe I wouldn't have been combative 5 years ago. But I mean, I'm not doing it on any personal level. I'm just
Yeah.
when things come up. I'm not
I
looking
think,
for reasons
I think it's
to.
physically the layout of this room. I
That
think
helps
it lends
too.
to
But
it.
but
It
we've
does
been
help.
in here for a
He
while.
just stays engaged, and he's like, you know what? Fuck that. Before he was
Yeah.
behind you, and he'd be like, "Ugh." He
Yeah,
couldn't
that
see
is
around
true.
you.
That is true. That would happen. I
He's
think.
picked up cliff notes from his really smart brother
On one subject,
climate
though.
shit, and now he's like Mr. Climate,
But that's not all.
And
of
then
the things
it can't go unsaid. E. Mandy comes into your life, and all of a sudden, fucking yoga's on the table and vegan lifestyle. Like, dude,
Oh my God! Speaking of
you're
which,
turning into a fucking weirdo, and people are noticing.
Speaking of which, well, I was always a weirdo. So what's the difference? But
Yeah, but a shitty version of a weirdo.
oh, I disagree with that. I would say a way better version of a shitty
I,
weirdo.
I prefer shitting on the hotel floor version of E as opposed to vegan living E.
It doesn't mean he still can't shit on
I
a
mean,
hotel floor.
dude.
I don't know.
And then kick it.
He did kick it.
Well, you know what?
Did it break apart when you kicked it, by the way?
I wasn't gonna tell this, but I wasn't gonna
All
tell.
right.
I wasn't gonna tell this.
No, you should.
But you know what? I can prove that even with my situation and Mandy, I can still shit on the floor.
Oh, no. E.
No, so here's what happened.
When was this?
So bad. This is so bad.
Oh,
When I went on that trip, on our
That
weekend,
romantic
on our
getaway?
yes,
Fuck
romantic.
you. Jesus.
So here's what happened. The first night we stayed in a hotel in Holland, and
He didn't want to shit in the room
I didn't
and
want
have her
to
smell
I
it.
didn't want to shit in the room and have her smell it.
Oh,
and
no.
we'd been drinking, and I woke up just having to go really.
Does she
bad.
know this, by the way?
No.
Okay, good.
I had to go really bad. I'm just like, fuck, this is gonna smell. I don't want to do it. But I wasn't honestly right from the get go. I was not sure that I could hold it. It was already that bad. Like I had.
Did
to
it
go.
wake you? Like it woke
Yeah,
you from a dead
kinda.
sleep? And
Yes, I had to go, and I went down to we were on the third floor, and I went down the elevator, and I tried to go to the lobby bathroom, and nothing made it to the floor, But it did.
Oh my gosh,
But
E.
it did go down my-
exact same. What? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? It happened again.
It
the
did go down my,
exact same
it did kind
thing.
of go down my legs. a
Oh
little
my
bit.
God,
And then I was,
E.
Yeah.
and now I'm sitting here in this situation where I didn't know what to do because I didn't want to go back up to the room. So I'm like in the bathroom taking paper towels and wiping my legs and stuff. And I just,
Raping it. Wouldn't you have bet your left nut that was a learning situation? The whole New York thing, that'll never happen again. He
would think.
pooed
One would
himself.
think,
He
yeah.
kicked it. That will never happen again, though. That was once in a lifetime. 6
so-
months later?
Yeah,
I-
about.
Shit, man.
I know. It was a terrible situation.
Oh
I
my
was in.
So
God.
it sounds like, was there some liquid? Was it
It
liquidy? It sounds like it was running
yeah,
down your
it was
leg.
just-
Like
it was from a night of too much drinking, I guess.
a
Probably.
lot of people have a
yeah.
night of too much drinking and don't.
I know. I don't
So was
know.
it running down your leg?
It was more of the situation where I just, like I said, I woke up having to go. I should have absolutely gone into the bathroom and just gone.
Yeah.
Are you
Like,
familiar with the courtesy flush?
Yeah, I am. I know. I don't.
You
know.
familiar with a match?
Yeah, match is a good one.
I know this one was this one. I'm
So
saying.
eat.
This
Are
Are
one
you
not
familiar
to
with
me.
just going, yeah, I shit. What the hell, you know, I'm
Yeah.
human.
It's crazy. I know
I-
most
I-
people don't, but I do.
Well, it was my
gosh.
first night spending the night with her. I guess
Yeah.
I didn't know. I
No,
don't
better
know.
to shit your pants than go in the bathroom.
Well, she
with a
didn't
match.
know. I mean,
Yeah.
in the end, I mean,
Did the
but-
hotel staff know?
No, because
Fuck.
none of it made
so
none
that's
of
the
it
big
made
distinction here.
none of it made it to the floor this time. It
Yeah.
was just like
So
a
what
little
were you
bit-
wearing? Jeans or
Just sweatpants and boxers.
so the inside of those sweatpants were fucked.
Oh,
and
both-
your boxers were just
those
loaded.
were both. No, they weren't because it was just like it's hard to explain. Just like a little bit that went down my leg, and I was having to sit
Yeah.
there and like
We work with that guy.
towels and like or paper towels, and I was just like rubbing it down.
Did anyone
and-
come into the bathroom while you were?
No, luckily it was pretty early, and then luckily I was like I still was like, what the fuck am I gonna do, dude? Like even wiping it down with these towels isn't gonna smell good.
No.
And when
Our room fucking reeked. Jay, it reeked in
Of
New York.
course.
There was a tiny.
Of course it
this
did.
monster left like a tiny piece of shit-filled toilet paper like on the floor in the bathroom and one in the room on the carpet. And I was like, this fucking reeks. And then he cleans himself up with a towel and throws the towel in the corner. It's like,
well, no, I would
this
say no.
room
That's not
stinks.
exactly what happened. By the way,
Well, close enough.
No, I mean, you're right that I had to wipe it down with those towels, but then like I instantly after like I don't know if I took a shower. I took a shower and then instantly took all that stuff and walked downstairs with it. I was never gonna just leave.
But you left it in a heap on the floor while you took a shower, and I walked in the room and it
okay,
fucking
yeah, that's fair.
reeks like shit.
That's fair.
That's creative.
No, so luckily when I got up to the room at the time,
You're flabbergasted.
I am
You are
flabbergasted.
she
beside
had
yourself
woken
Jay, at this
up.
point.
Luckily, I really was like, what am I gonna fucking do? And you know what's ridiculous as it sounds? It didn't even occur to me that I could just instantly go into the shower at least. Like I could easily just like, why didn't I think? So that's when I got up. She'd already gotten up now, and she was in the shower. And then when she got out, I just went, oh yeah, I'm gonna take a shower.
Yeah, I got to take a shower.
Crazy.
You know me, love to be clean. So
No.
those pants would have still stunk.
Well, I got
and
rid of all that
box-
stuff.
You threw it all out?
Yeah.
Okay. I
know.
wanna-
Yeah.
And how dare you? You were not going to tell that story. How dare you?
Well, it wasn't that I,
I mean,
wasn't.
Jay,
They all
does that
come to light
bother
at
you,
some
Jay?
point.
No, well,
Sometimes-
you know what? Here's the thing. What happened that weekend, and actually, this did cross my mind. When we got back that weekend, and we talked so much about the weekend. I think we did 20 minutes that day or something about it or whatever. And so, like, I figured I'd wait for a time. You know, sometimes I realize with some of these stories, like, I have so much stuff that happens that I can wait at times and be like, you know what, we talked, like, and now now I got to tell you guys this now in a
Yeah, it's
separate
great.
situation.
No, it's worth it.
See, I'm growing up.
So after you got out of the shower, did you go right back to Pound Town?
Not that. No.
No, okay.
By that time, we were kind of both really hungover. I don't know. No, it did not happen.
Okay.
Until the following that evening, I guess.
Well, thank
But I
you
did
for
take
that,
a
E.
thorough
I appreciate
shower.
that.
If
yeah.
that had manifested itself into a turd, would you have kicked it?
Fuck yes, of course he would
E?
have. Yes.
No, the only reason the kick happened only because it had fallen onto the floor and I still needed to go to the bathroom more. Like I needed to. That's why.
So, E, do you really wind up and kick that thing, or is it just kind
No,
of
It's
I just,
outside
like,
of
kind
the
of
foot. He tried to
outside
get
of
the
the
outside
foot
of
in
the
on
foot,
it.
and I
Yeah.
just kind of nudged
can't,
it.
you
Yes.
can't, the shit's
Bend it
not
like
going to go
Beckham.
airborne and bend and arc.
No.
Yeah. So what did it just like slap against the wall? Was there something that
There was like a
stopped?
bar. It was that. Remember the bar? The bar was there.
Yeah, for sure.
So it went up against like the bar rail.
Arnold Roofing. They are a listener-owned business that serves Southeast Michigan and surrounding areas since 1998. They specialize in repairs, replacements, new roofs. Arnold Roofing has the experience and knowledge to provide you a reliable product backed by quality workmanship and extensive warranties. Now get this, Ezus. They'll do the work with no money down. You pay on completion. That means Arnold Roofing is dedicated to your complete satisfaction. So get roofed up proper. Go to arnoldroofing.com for free estimates and more information. You can find more at 248-634-0189.
And Mike, real quick, honestly, you should know this. Like, do you think that I'm just blowing her ass, like, just to have good, like, crappy food? I tried a garden burger somewhere yesterday. My family and I, my sister came over and we did some lunch and we did carry out. And I was like, you know what? This doesn't say Impossible Burger, but it's a garden burger. I'm going to try it anyway. And it fucking sucked. It was terrible.
Really?
It's
terrible.
lacking heme.
That
Yeah, I
was
would
it.
think.
The
The heme.
heme. I need
It's
the
the
fucking
heme, dude.
heme.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Can you get your own bottle of heme? You just dribble on something like that.
I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the garden burger, at least the one I had,
Is it
sucked.
all plant based? Is that what the
Yeah,
garden?
but I've had, since my situation of the first time, I've now had several Impossible Burgers.
Yeah.
Really?
Impossible meat at restaurants and liked them.
Yeah.
But that garden burger fucking sucked to me.
It's the heme. It's the lack of heme.
Got to have the heme.
You can get MSG. You might as well just buy some heme.
Yeah.
It around.
Right.
Does it really taste though like a Whopper? Do you notice a
I mean,
difference
I
at
haven't had the
all?
Impossible Whopper, but I'll say this.
Oh, you haven't? I thought you did.
I've had Impossible Burgers. That's Impossible Whopper is not like they don't own the word Impossible Meat. Like that's an
Right, yeah, it's a
So I haven't
company.
not had an Impossible Burger or Whopper. I've had Impossible Burgers at bars, and I will say I had one at. I actually went to Lucky Strike in Novi recently, and you could substitute any of their burgers with an Impossible patty. So I got one that had an onion ring and cheese, but the Impossible patty, and it was fucking good. Like seriously, that one was fucking good.
I'll try it at some point, I'm sure.
But the garden, I'll tell you, so don't try the garden burger. You're not gonna like it.
Are turkey burgers bad for you?
They're better.
They're better,
Yeah.
but not.
I like the turkey. I like the
substantially.
bean. You guys ever have bean burgers?
I think I was forced to try it,
Yeah.
like take a bite of it. I wasn't crazy about it personally, but I don't know. With a little heme, who knows? Maybe even the bean burger will taste dynamite. I don't know. Since we were here last, it was Halloween, I believe, on last Thursday.
Yeah.
How did your Halloweens go?
It was
Did
an
you have a
awful
lot of
evening.
Did you were
Could
were
have been a worse one.
bailing on the trick or treaters though, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Jan,
we
do it.
bailed. Yep. We took Sweet Pie over to a friend's, dropped her off, let her do her thing, and I think they stayed out for like a half hour or something. It was
Yeah.
really cold, really rainy.
Yeah,
And then we bailed. We didn't give out anything.
that's nice. I didn't see a single soul. We
Yeah.
sat here and it was like I was watching my Niners on Thursday night. Nothing. Not
Ready
a
to
car,
give 'em
not a
cigarettes
kid.
or something? Did you
I
have
would
any?
have done something.
Yeah.
Yeah, thrown $1 at them or
Something nice,
something.
yeah.
But yeah, nothing. I mean, yeah, it was nice. People, this brings out the Halloween costumes, and JetBlue has taken some shit. One of their employees, and maybe you can pop a picture up. This worker has caused outrage. Well, on Twitter, really. Because she posted this picture on her social media dressed as a homeless person trying to get back to Puerto Rico or Cuba and begging for money. The worker with tattered clothing, as you can see there, put black makeup on her teeth to make them look rotten. Was holding a plastic cup with a few coins and was carrying a sign with a caption, "Homeless, need help trying to get back to Puerto Rico or Cuba." I mean, if she doesn't say Puerto Rico or Cuba, is this
I'm
even
sure
an
someone would
issue?
still find outrage, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
ripping on the homeless.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be homeless.
But this is like doubly, offensive because of the homeless nature of it, and then
Yeah.
Puerto Rico and Cuba. What?
Yeah.
That's where the brown people live.
Yeah.
So a Twitter user, thank God, there was a hero who was at JetBlue,
Who spotted this?
spotted this
Yeah.
injustice, was able
Was
to
able
take
to
a
call it
photo, posted the picture of the woman at the JetBlue kiosk at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. A
Hopefully
company-
they did that before anyone else was hurt.
Absolutely.
Good.
Right. Yeah. With the caption, "This was the costume of a JetBlue employee at the airport in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I want to read your opinions." So now it's off and running. It provoked quite a bit of outrage, as I said, on Twitter. Hundreds mostly commenting that they considered racist and highly, and I mean highly offensive. This ruined a lot of people's days.
Yeah.
Gabriella R., for instance,
At Gabriella R.
yeah, she wrote, "People's hardship and suffering should not be mocked like this.
No.
The company should have accountability for all their workers. Unacceptable." All caps unacceptable. Domino PR777 said, they need to fire her ass, and I demand a public apology. You do? You do. You need a
Said
personal
who?
public.
What's his name? At.
Domino PR777. Yeah. I demand a public apology from JetBlue for their employee's costume because as a Puerto Rican, I find it highly offensive, and I personally will not be flying JetBlue until they issue a public apology to all Puerto Ricans and Cubans.
JetBlue won't be flying Jet. I want to know how many times he's flown JetBlue.
Yeah.
I want to know.
I would like
how
to
many-
know that too. You know, has he ever been on a plane? That's quite a if he's a world traveler, you know, and prefers JetBlue, then this could be a real hit. You know, he's not bringing his business back until they issue a public apology to all Puerto Ricans and Cubans. Wouldn't we be better off not informing all Puerto Ricans and Cubans that this happens? None of them will, like 99% of Puerto Ricans and Cubans will never know this even happened.
No, about 13 people would have seen it had it not been tweeted, right?
Yeah, but God forbid Domino PR777, he's got to get that out to all Puerto Ricans and Cubans to make sure that they're properly offered their apology. The fact that there's people saying this is okay, I hate everyone. Oh my God. Others argue the post was offensive to survivors of Hurricane Maria. I mean,
Oh.
devastated the country a couple of years ago. Remember, it did like $100 billion in damage. People are overthinking this shit, man. They're just overthinking this stuff.
Yeah, I didn't connect that to the hurricane. But
Yeah. Well, one user, and I don't know his or her name, not sure if they know, but thousands of people lost everything due to Hurricane Maria. And for this JetBlue employee
sure
to
if
think
they
it's
know.
okay to joke about the epidemic of homelessness in Puerto Rico and the U.S. is sickening and completely unacceptable. That's no joke.
Somehow this hurricane victim got, to the U.S., wants to get back
Yeah.
to said ravaged area.
Yeah.
So that says something, right?
Yeah. Well, that's true. Yeah.
It's not really a
I
put down
mean-
of Puerto Rico. It's like, hey,
I want to go there.
yeah.
Can you
I'm
help
homeless
me?
here in the U.S. I'd love to get back to Puerto Rico or Cuba.
Yeah.
Either one.
Either one. Coin flip. Whatever. Here, clearly, it's not working for me. Look at me. I'm a
Right.
mess. I'm a mess.
I'm hopeful it will work better there.
Yes. I want to
One
go
of these two destinations.
back to the great motherland and start over. And I gotta get out of the U.S.
I would argue this is complimenting Puerto Rico and or Cuba.
Yeah. Here I am in America. Look at me. A shit bag.
Shit bag.
So much of a shit bag that I'm going to Cuba or Puerto Rico. That's where real people can make shit happen.
Right.
You're right. This is a compliment of pretty big proportion
Yeah.
to Puerto Ricans and Cubans. Maybe they owe her an apology.
Did they read the same sign I did?
Yeah. JetBlue apologized for the clearly insensitive costume choice on the email to NBC. They claimed, in the spirit of Halloween, our crew members are welcome to celebrate in costume, but one crew member chose a costume that was clearly insensitive and not in line with our costume policy. The situation was immediately addressed, and we apologize to anyone who was offended. He did not say, though, if this worker was absolutely shit canned or not.
If you as a company are weighing the pros and cons of allowing employees to dress up on Halloween,
Yeah.
where are you falling on that one?
Why
No,
take the risk?
No costumes, please.
Why
it's
the risk?
unprofessional and it's potentially, tweetable.
It's a holiday for kids, for children.
so dumb.
Grow up.
This is where, Mike, you say that though, Mike, but I'm shocked that you think that. Like, look, I agree. I wouldn't do it if I was running a company, 100% in this day and age. But honestly, that is too bad to me. You should be mad about this, Mike. Like, that's the thing. Like, this is too bad that we've gotten to a point where what would be wrong with being at the fucking Southwest thing and the girl dressed as a zombie? It's kind of fun. I like that shit.
Yeah, no, I don't mind
it's
that
like-
stuff. But to Jay's point,
Oh, I wouldn't do it.
too much risk.
It's a minefield.
It
No, I wouldn't
takes
allow
one
it.
dipshit to show up as fucking Tonto, and the whole thing blows up in your face.
I wouldn't allow it. I'm just saying, this is one of those things for me where it reaches the point of like, oh my God, you
Yeah,
can't just
no,
be
it
the
is.
CVS
too
and
bad.
have a lady just be a witch or
Yeah.
something, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, Christ.
I went to a restaurant Halloween night. There was a guy dressed as a burrito. I
Really?
thought it was interesting,
Okay.
given that it was a barbecue place.
Is that offensive to Mexicans? Or
Some may have argued that. He had a sombrero and a burrito outfit on.
was he brown enough to be wearing a sombrero like that? I mean, that's appropriating the shit out of someone else's culture.
I
Let's
should
be
have
honest.
tweeted about it and asked.
Yeah, did you snapped a picture? Obviously, right?
I didn't.
Oh man, see, you gotta You got to do that so we can inform the world that they need to be outraged.
Yeah.
At
That
seeing
person
this.
better never have a job again. Better never have.
I should have done it so this could have been resolved.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Well, at least bring it to the management's attention after you tweet it out to the
And
world.
this poor 17-year-old kid
Yeah.
could be fired and
Well, and
doxxed.
never have a job again the rest of his life. By the way, he really
Canceled.
shouldn't. Right? Even.
Well, I mean, if you demand a public apology from the company and that his ass is fired immediately, I mean, what are they going to do? They've got to listen to you. You're a guy that came in to eat.
The customer's always right.
Absolutely.
So I've been told.
Yeah. Well, missed
Customers are not
opportunity,
always
Jay.
right, by the way.
Missed opportunity, Jay. We'll do better next time. Let's see. We got outrage over Kanye West. What is he doing now? He's like doing these church services or something.
Yeah, he's been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Well, his new
New
album is Jesus is King. Is that what it's called?
Something. Yeah, Jesus is
yeah.
King. And so, like Sundays, he's been going to different places and doing like a sermon.
Yes.
Is he ordained? Is he?
From what I
do
understand,
it.
too, I mean, E and I were talking about this the other day. I think he's a newly converted Christian, but I'm not sure
Does
some
he
of the
think
messages.
he's Jesus?
No, I don't think so. But I think these church things are a little bit more offbeat, cultish, sort of weird things. I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't think like mainstream Christianity would be like, oh yeah, no, he's 100% on that. Yeah, that's the message we want out there. Like I don't know.
It's probably good in the overall scheme of things if he's going to draw thousands and thousands and thousands of people to a church, you know. But and I think he does it on his dime. I think he pays to fly himself there, wherever he goes, and you know he doesn't get paid for it at all. He doesn't take a fee to be there. He
Yeah.
gets all free when he does it.
I mean, don't you think the message matters though? There's been,
Is he
numerous
is he
people
changing
over.
the Bible?
I don't know, but your statement, I think it's a good thing that he's drawing thousands
Well-
of people to a church. Like, there's been some crazy fuckers out there.
Yeah, well, I know the church, you know, we're losing people like crazy. What with the whole fucking kids thing that was going on for decades.
Catholic Church, yeah.
Catholic Church, yeah. But it drove a lot of people away. Believe it or not, people were highly offended
Yeah,
when they found out, like,
understandably.
tiny dicks were being sucked
They
by
had an
the, by the-
objection to that.
Yes, they really did. They felt like they were taking advantage of
Found
these
that
children.
contrary to what was being preached
a
from the
bit,
pulpit.
a little hypocritical, you know. But and it went on for a long,
Puzzled
long
on how
time.
that fit the doctrine.
I would love to sit
dogma.
down with one of them and go,
How does this
How does that
square?
How do we do that?
God, I got a round hole here and a
Yeah.
square. Well, I don't want to get too graphic, but
Right.
Yeah, how does that fit?
Yeah. Tightly.
I don't
What do
want
you say? They go, no, that's over the line. I should have said that. I shouldn't have said tightly. Yeah, so that whole thing where they were, I don't know if they were boo-fooing children or just blowing little kids or making little kids blow them.
It's a combination thereof.
I imagine everybody has their own thing they're into,
Sure.
and it probably, you know, but it drove
You know,
people
there
away.
are people who don't want to do other things. You know, if you want ice cream, you don't go to a barbecue shop.
So there's that.
Yeah. So to my point, you know, if Kanye can bring these people back in in droves, you know, maybe you can get a couple of those, you know, kid blowers back into the mix. Maybe
Oh, I
or
see
the
what
people
you
that were
mean. Yeah,
offended
yeah.
that, you know,
Okay.
like because he can do that. He's got a big enough, you know, voice. That he can do. I'm just thinking out loud here.
Yeah.
I don't know what his message is. If he's fucking with the Bible,
I suspect
I don't
most
know.
people are going to this thing just because it's Kanye, and it's like, this is fucking weird. Let's check this out. You know?
Yeah. Well, if it's like he's up there, you know, spouting John 3:16, and it's not, you know, the God gave his only begotten Son thing.
Yeah.
You know, I take issue with that greatly, but I haven't heard that. But anyway, he was doing this performance at an outdoor service Friday night at Bethany Church in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
He was good enough to serve breakfast.
Yep. So he was thousands of people for the program of Christian preaching and songs from his new album Jesus is King. Church service was free. Local organizers charged $55 for a brunchella breakfast plate before the service as a church fundraiser. At least one woman demanded her money back.
See, that's what's lost on this. This was clearly a fundraiser. It's not like, hey, this thing I'm about to hand you on a styrofoam plate is
Yeah.
worth $55. We're not arguing that.
Yeah.
This is a fundraiser for the church.
This is basically as cheap and shit as we can get it. We got this for a nickel and
Yes.
$55 so we can
Supporting the church. Here you go,
Yes.
have a breakfast.
Does
But
it look-
they're acting like this is a fire festival type box lunch. Remember the picture of those?
Oh,
It was ridiculous.
yeah.
You're promised all this fine cuisine and shit, and
Yeah.
they're given like a ham sandwich. This is similar to that.
Yeah.
And that there's like, one of those sausage patties
Let
that
me
you
see
get on a
it eat.
McMuffin.
Fine though, like
Yeah,
I
I
know
mean-
it's not obviously it's not $55, but Jay's right. It's
a
that's not what
fundraiser.
it is.
That bacon looks good though.
Yeah.
Whoever
Bacon does
made
look
that, and those flapjacks were flipped at the appropriate time, nice and golden.
hotcakes.
Yeah. What's going on with the holes in the top in a circle there of that hot cake? Is this just some bored guy? He's doing that to his own cakes.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, every cake, it's like a snowflake, right?
Yeah, I
You
guess.
know, every cake forms itself in a variety of ways that you know when to flip when it starts to bubble, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
so-
yeah. It seems petty, but of course, it's got to go viral and make news everywhere. So, West, they say a social media post
You
quickly
know what
went
I'd do
viral.
with that? I'd make a sandwich immediately,
Fuck
right?
yeah.
Throw it all
Exactly.
between the hot cakes.
Hell
and
yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Don't you feel like it
Exactly.
goes? I feel like it goes too fast when you fold things.
It doesn't matter. You put it all together and you just chomp.
That's,
it.
that's
syrup-
all I was thinking
syrup
of when
in
I was
there?
looking at that right
No.
now.
You don't like syrup, do you? You don't like syrup either.
That's all I was thinking about when I looked at that, Jay. Is that's what I would
Sandwich
Uh,
have
it
done.
up proper.
Yep, sandwich
You would
up
make
pro-
it like a taco, fold it over like a
No,
taco.
I would take one hot cake. I'd
Similar
put
to how
the
a sandwich is
the
made?
stuff on it, and then I put the other hot cake.
Oh, I
on
thought you
top
were
of it.
folding it. You're talking about making a sandwich. Okay, I got you. I thought you were taco folding it.
You could taco fold it if you wanted, but you're risking the breakage of the hot cake,
Oh,
which I
no
think.
question. Yeah. I don't know. You wouldn't get all of those in each bite, though. You're going to come up short in a lot of respects, especially as far as the bacon goes.
It's your best move.
I would disagree, but okay. Do you? So this one person was complaining about the food sold by local organizers prior to the event. Can y'all cover a story on this? Because I want my coins back. Settle down, Kimberly Kinchin.
I just want a bunch of retweets and new followers.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is.
This is the wonderful and cold brunch buffet we are being served. The server looked at me crazy when I asked for another Pan's cake.
Oh, it was a buffet, or were they able
I
to get
guess,
more?
yeah. She's got cold in all caps and buffet all in caps.
Oh man, if you were able to go back even, I really think there's
Yeah.
no problem with it. Like,
So the catering company acknowledges it did not provide adequate food for one attendee. And a social media post went viral. Any further inquiries or complaints can be directed at Lauren's Fine Catering. So hopefully she hears from a lot of people about this absolute injustice.
Hopefully she's doxxed and canceled.
Yeah. I mean, that seems fair. I mean, it is a
Look
church
what she
fundraiser.
did. Look what she did.
Look what she went through. She should never work again.
that's how you said it. It's just like, hope she's doxxed and
And
canceled.
canceled.
It's like the
Immediately, stat.
The fact that canceled is a thing, and we just know that if you do things, you can just be canceled, or whatever that means.
Just don't exist.
Canceled
Yeah,
doesn't
you're
ma-
done.
Done.
You don't even need to be a comic or an actor or a singer. You
Nope.
could be a worker at
Just
the
a guy.
McDonald's, and you
Yeah.
can be canceled. Get the fuck out of here and never work again.
Use the wrong pronoun at the wrong time, mister.
It's ma'am, and you're done. See ya.
Hey, speaking of food, at Twin Peaks, they believe nothing pairs better with their made-from-scratch menu than an ice-cold 29-degree draft served by the best-in-class Twin Peaks girls. Pair a signature Twin Peaks brew in a man-sized mug with the Carolina pulled pork sandwich for their version of a dream team, or give the sweet and smoky ribs a shot. Whatever you choose, you're in for a meal worth cheering for. Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, scenic views.
21-year-old New Jersey man has been charged in the death of a 19-year-old woman. He was banging her so rough in a car, it apparently killed her after a Halloween party. Michael Gaffney of Maywood, New Jersey, was charged with reckless manslaughter. So you fuck someone to death? Reckless manslaughter is the charge. So following an autopsy of Frances Garcia, 19-year-old from Bloomingdale, New Jersey, she was found dead in a car that was parked in a detached parking lot at a high-rise in Hackensack, New Jersey. Earlier, the woman was said to have been attending a loud Halloween party on the 14th floor of this building. Before she left with a man in his 20s, now they know was Gaffney. Authorities interviewed him then, and he told them, yeah, this chick lost consciousness while we were there. He was just going to Pound Town in the car, and on the top level of the garage. So he also told police they had taken prescription meds prior to the incident. So it's not clear whether Garcia and Gaffney knew each other previously. I'm going to say probably not. Or if they just met. So they did an autopsy to determine whether she died from a bout of rough car sex or drug OD. Either way, her death has been deemed suspicious.
He was heard to warn her in advance, I'll fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Get it, E?
I do.
Is this a, like, if you're gonna get charged with murder of any type or manslaughter?
about to-
I mean, like, this is a good run. Like, isn't he
I
gonna
mean-
Good my dick is.
Yeah, you know, you walk into prison and it's like
mean,
all those.
what are you in for?
All those pedophiles, they get murdered within 2 months, right?
Yeah.
But you walk in there like, just fucking some chick, you know, fucked her to death.
I fucked her till she died, dude, and be like, boss, no way.
Yeah.
This is the bro that fucked that chick till she died.
Yeah.
What would it says like whether it's an overdose or death of rough car sex apparently?
Yeah.
What would the signs of death by sex be? Like
Yeah, did he
Just
pop an organ or
blow
what?
that fucking vagina
Like, I
out. I
don't
mean, just blow it out.
I mean, what could
Yeah, shouldn't we be able to tell whether this death occurred via vagine or via heart from opioids or something?
Yeah,
I
you
mean-
would think, and he's probably going, "Please be my dick, please be my dick." I mean, say he's
Not
got
the
to
end
do
of the
2
world if it's my
years.
dick.
If
I mean,
it's
is it
my
like he's,
dick,
like, fucking her,
dude,
like, in
that's a
her-
calling card for the rest of your life. That's a sales pitch.
It is.
Oh, do you remember that story from 20 years ago about that guy that fucked a chick to death in the car?
It looks
Rough
good on a
sex?
resume.
It does, right? If you're like counting up pros and cons of why you should date me, it's like, oh,
mean,
by
is
the
it-
way, my dick killed a bitch.
would it be like she was like in the back seat and she's like on him and like her head just drilling the fucking roof and like
I don't think you give him credit for sex being the thing there. I mean, that's
Oh,
more
he's-
like
he's
the
good.
one
Blunt
force
force
no,
trauma.
but he'd be good
Yeah.
enough that he could withstand such thrusting, I suppose, or whatever.
I mean, would you even?
No,
want-
there has to be like damage to like her liver or something for this. You know what I mean?
He poked through a liver.
Yes, there has
What's
to be
the
something
lowest
like that.
organ around there that you could get to?
Yeah, he popped her pancreas. I
Bowel?
don't know. Yeah.
Could you go backdoor bowel
Poked her
action?
bowel.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. There's got to be something like that.
Bruised
Otherwise,
kidney?
it's like, she had a heart attack. She was high, whatever.
Well,
Yeah, but he
help
put
it.
her in such, such pleasure, Jay.
Throes
that-
of passion.
Throes of passion that the mixture of the drugs and the enormously awesome dick he was giving her,
yeah,
just
a
murder.
deep dicking. When you, I mean,
That's a
just
deep dicking.
thrusting deeper and deeper, bruising kidneys, liver,
Not just bruising.
puncturing.
I think you need that evidence, or else it's just
Yeah.
like, come on.
And if the day that comes out, it's like, well, we've got the autopsy reports. When you were going to Pound Town, it appears you punctured a liver. You'd be like, fuck yeah, hell
You do
yeah.
that thing where E leans back. Like,
Yeah, I sure did.
That just-
I thought that's what that was.
There's
Yep.
no way that
thought I felt a liver.
Hey, do you mind if I get those autopsy reports? You done with that? I'm gonna keep that, frame that on the wall.
let's just say there's obviously it's not a possibility, but let's just say that it is. Would he be guilty of murder? Like, I mean, if he just
Yep. He's getting an orange jumpsuit. What are you in for? Reckless manslaughter with my dick.
Is there any indication in the story that he was like inserting something in her other than his dick?
There might have been some.
So that's
some
a problem.
There were some bruises on her neck,
all
consistent
right.
with his story.
Here's the problem. That's where that would get tricky to me. Like, there are girls that like that. So it's like, it does
Yeah.
get to be like, I wonder how if he said, look at man, she was asking me, we were both just in it. I wonder, like, how you could ever prove that she was, quote unquote, asking for it. And then it just became
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
And plus, if you really wanna fucking like pound and get as deep, if like you're gonna have any shot at puncturing a kidney, a liver, anything like that, you gotta really grab a hold of the shoulders or the neck, and so you can really fucking just pound in there, right, Jay?
Yeah.
I mean, if you can do it without touching anything, but you're just not gonna get that thrust, that pound town thrust.
I would
you know
argue
what I mean?
you don't need to grab her neck for that, but okay.
Well, like he said, she might have wanted that, and I'm going to side with she did.
There's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah. Yes. Warren De La Salle. What's going on with Warren De La Salle?
Yeah, there's a
Football
hootie
program.
hoo incident over there. Hootie hoo.
Hazing scandal. I thought we were done with these things, man. I thought the schools had learned.
Thought hootie hoo really put a damper on that whole thing.
Was Hootie Who, was that
Hootie Who
part
was
of
a
the
big
boy?
one.
I mean, so it's like everything you say, though. Like, most kids, like, you're some kid, you don't even pay attention to news. Like, they probably, they don't even hear it. They just,
Yeah.
they're not listening to news like you are, and they just have some tradition that, oh, when I was a freshman, someone slapped me on the ass, and now I got to do it to you. for
Was
whatever
Hootie
reason.
Who, they would walk in and turn off the lights,
Yeah.
and they
I
go,
think so.
Hootie Who, and that meant they were coming?
Yeah, broomstick.
Which one was the? Did that also include the insertion of the coat
Metal
hanger
hanger.
and then
I don't-
kicking it?
I don't
the
know.
boing, oing, 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 oing,
That
oing?
might have been a different one.
Yeah.
We've done several of these.
Yeah.
What was De La Salle doing?
De La Salle. So their football season is over. They were going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Eve of the playoffs. Now involves claims that sticks were used in a sexual manner to taunt players. Allegations that police said they were not privy to until recently. According to multiple sources, the incidents involve a stick of some type. A broomstick was cited by multiple individuals
Broomstick, man.
that was used in a sexual manner. It is not known how exactly the sticks were allegedly used. I can confidently tell you how exactly the sticks were used, right? Like,
Yeah, I have a pretty good guess.
yeah, I mean, you're not going to titty fuck someone with a broom handle. You know what I mean?
No.
Not going to make him blow it, probably.
Yeah, that's possible, but maybe 10% chance.
Yeah,
I think
but, like,
90%.
Or more,
about the
90
buttocks.
plus.
Yeah, 90 plus.
It's going in a hole, in a butthole.
Yeah.
Yeah. E,
Yeah.
would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Fuck.
Ugh.
Eh,
Can you imagine someone puts it in your butthole and it's like, all right, E, you're up next. And it's like, you didn't even wipe it down. Oh, it's just disturbing, Jay. It's disturbing.
yeah.
I don't think I'll ever understand that one. The broomstick to the butthole of a teammate.
Yeah.
Sucks, man.
No,
That's rough.
I will not.
Warren Police Commissioner Bill Dwyer told the Free Press that De La Salle President John Knight told him that an investigation into football hazing allegations would not be necessary. We can keep this all in-house. The school would handle the issue internally. He said, we've got it under control. We don't need the police involved. There's no substance to it. Well, on Friday, De La Salle adamantly denied telling police it would handle the hazing incidents internally and said police are now involved. They disclosed that the hazing is far more pervasive and deep-rooted than originally. Oh, so like a lot of kids, a lot of kids probably sat on a broomstick at some point. That's what it sounds like. Pervasive. I mean, that's what that means, right? Pervasive and deep-rooted. It's a tradition, some would say. So it's quite disturbing to me that he would not share that information, said Officer Dwyer. He said he learned the stick allegations from the Free Press. It's the school's responsibility to report this as soon as they find out the allegations. Earlier in the day, John Knight sent a letter to parents announcing the team at the school would forfeit Friday's playoff game and end the season because of the allegations, which is really troubling. I mean, I'd like to see, seems like a pretty good football team. At least give them the playoff run. We'll deal with this whole broomstick shit later. We have recently discovered a series of hazing incidents on our varsity team, and many players on the team appear to have been aware. All of them would be aware.
I mean, yeah.
There's
I don't know how
no
you could-
way half a locker room is aware of this, right?
I don't. Yeah,
I mean, I suppose there could be a few maybe that stick to
just
themselves.
a few that
but-
gang up on the weak gazelles. I don't know.
Yeah, I would think.
No,
that,
but as far as the whole team knowing, I would.
Yeah, I would think that'd be a hot
I'd say
topic.
at least 90% of the team would have to know. Maybe there'd be some one-offs that wouldn't, but
Yeah. So anyway, I don't know what you do. I mean, canceling the school season seems like, or the football playoff seems like a harsh enough punishment. But I don't know. We'll see where that goes. But not sounding good. I wonder how many schools that shit goes on at still. You know what I mean? Like what the percentage is. Because I never saw anything close to stuff like that.
No.
I don't know if you ever heard. I never even got wind of anything like that. So
not that. I mean, I'm sure you guys had some level, right? But like not like that.
yeah, we went to a camp or something, a tournament. Remember that we stayed in those whatever. And I remember someone got taped to a tree and someone got fucking
Yeah.
whipped creamed up proper or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
But the younger
Yeah,
kids,
we used to cross country team used to
one
throw
kid
us
got
in a
butt
pond
fucked
or
by
whatever.
half the team.
Oh,
I
really?
remember that?
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
nice.
a couple forced
it you?
blowjobs, but nothing more than that. Boys will be boys.
Right.
God, did you read that story out of Brazil? I think it was Brazil. Yeah, which one? There's probably a lot. 14-year-old girl victimized by an extremely intense and especially denigrating attack while she was unconscious. Saw the 5 predators who were responsible cleared of sexual assault because they didn't use violence. The mere fact that she was out cold and couldn't say no,
Jeez.
and they didn't have to rough her up. Yeah, right? After becoming incapacitated at a warehouse party in Spain, actually, the victim was set upon by a handful of men who took turns just performing sex acts on her. 14-year-old girl. On her defenseless body, a Barcelona area court ruled the defendants could not be found guilty of the most serious assault charge because the teen girl was unable to accept or oppose sexual relations maintained with the defendants who could perform sex acts without using any type of violence or intimidation.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense, right? The court determined the sex attack on the victim was extremely intense and especially denigrating. In addition, it was produced on a minor who was in a helpless situation. Spanish law mandates violence or intimidation must be used to constitute an act of sexual assault. They're still going to serve like 12 years for this. They'll also have to compensate the victim with $13,400. Not bad.
12 years isn't bad, man. I thought you were going to say, like,
Yeah.
they're free.
They walked home.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were charged with a lesser crime of sex abuse, so that they probably just threw leveled the hardest punishment they could. So, and it happened during the annual running of the Bulls celebration in Pamplona. Oh no, that was a different one. A Spanish Supreme Court overturned a similar verdict in June. 5 men recorded themselves gang raping an 18-year-old woman, only to see their charges reduced to abuse because they didn't resort to violence either.
Sounds like the legislature is going to need to close this loophole.
Yeah, yeah. I thought this fucking story, dude, was so funny. Not funny. Someone sent this to me. It was from Colorado. The guy that had his home destroyed. Did you read that? End of maybe Friday.
I don't know.
Homeowner is owed nothing after police SWAT shootout destroyed his house. Homeowners now hoping to have that ruling overturned by the Supreme Court. Federal appeals court in Colorado ruled that a local police department does not have to compensate the homeowner whose house was destroyed by 19 hours of gunfire between officers and an armed shoplifting suspect who had chosen to barricade himself inside this home. Judges on the U.S. District Court of Appeals upheld the lower court's decision ruling that the city of Greenwood Village near Denver did not owe the homeowner, Leo Lech, any additional compensation, even though his home was, even though the suspect was a stranger to the homeowner. Didn't know him. He just broke into this house, barricaded himself. So Lech's home, valued at $580,000, was marked for demolition. Yeah, there's
Holy shit,
poor
man.
guy. So a SWAT team used
Insurance coverage going to kick in here, or?
a little bit, just a little bit though, not nearly. So a SWAT team used armored vehicles to breach the structure. Oh no, 19 hours, dude. They just got
So they've got one of those armored Humvees with like the battering ram.
Yeah.
Like it's just punching holes in the house.
There is a door there, gentlemen.
That thing's worth $580. Can we get
Yeah,
more
right?
pictures? E?
I mean, I don't.
Location.
Yep. The bottom line is that destroying somebody's home and throwing them out in the street by a government agency for whatever circumstances is not acceptable in a civilized society. It's destroyed our lives completely. That's a quote from Leo. He was renting the house to his son, John, who lived there with his girlfriend and her son, but they were not home at the time of the incident. The city initially paid him $5,000 in temporary living expenses. Not bad.
Yeah.
John Lech moved in with his parents, and his girlfriend's son had to change schools. His home insurance company paid him $345,000 for the damage, but that amount did not come close to covering additional costs related to personal property damage, demolishing and rebuilding the home, and taking out a new mortgage on a new house. It's a miracle insurance covered any of it in the first place. The attorney, Rachel Maxim, said, "Insurance is for fires, floods. There's no police blew up my house insurance." Home next door, $70,000 in damage. They're like, yeah, suck a dick, deal with it.
You think that thing needs to be raised, though? Like demolish that whole thing? You got some holes in it. Some obvious areas of...
19 hours of shooting 40 millimeter rounds into that house. You know how many Officer Walters would have been there just open and fire?
It's not 19 hours of straight shooting.
Well, I mean, it's a significant amount of
Obviously,
time.
there's some significant damage.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked. I don't know what that room used to be.
Looks like Chernobyl or something.
Yeah. So yeah, the guy next door, $70,000 in damage, not compensated by its insurance company. The court's decision said the police department and the city were not liable for damage caused to the property because officers were acting in their lawful role to arrest a criminal suspect. The courts have consistently ruled in favor of the police's actions taken to resolve this incident. The courts recognize that while these types of events present Difficult questions. The police should value life over property and may
do we have-
act pursuant.
More pictures?
Oh no, these are. I mean,
It seems structurally sound to me.
I think you're missing just how much damage
I
those
like- I like-
armored SWAT vehicles can do.
I am a visual learner, so I would like some more pictures.
well, I mean,
If you can find them, that's all you got, E?
Yeah, I guess that's what I got.
The only way that's acceptable as a room is if they were in the process of remodeling that kitchen or something.
Yeah, I mean, that's what a lot of people look at insurance coverage as. Like, oh, not the end of the world. My house burned down, but get to build a whole new one, huh?
Yeah.
Like, check for $400,000. Here we go.
Yeah.
But
Well-
I don't know, man. I say don't knock it down and use your $350,000. Put 200 into it.
Yeah. Do you think you could do that? Because you basically have to take the top of the house off.
I don't.
Because there's a lot of holes poked in it.
There are some holes.
That's
but I-
that's a troubling picture right there, Jake.
Yeah, but foundationally, do you need to drop this house? I don't know. I need more.
Are there more pictures, E?
I need more. You saw the perp.
Yep.
It's not
This
like
is
the
not
thing
a
was-
beautiful home.
It's not like it was on fire, though. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like,
Well-
if you're talking like, oh shit, then a fire started and the back third of the whole house is burnt
Sure,
down.
sure.
But that's not what it appears.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
Probably would
I
have
think
been
it's.
better.
I think this is a home overreach. E. That's
You
what I'm
think so?
arguing. Yeah.
Well, he probably would have been better off had a fire started. Then he can go,
Yeah.
my house burned down.
Yeah, probably.
You know? That's what Leo needed to do, was just go start a fire in somewhere. You know?
Let that be a lesson to
Make
everybody
an
else.
oily rag, light it on fire, throw it in the corner. But, dude, if they were rolling, if they were shooting into that thing for some length of time over a 19-hour period,
I'm not doubting there's massive damage to this.
yeah,
I'm
think
I'm
about
looking at
all
the
their
picture.
property inside. TVs would have been shot up, and
Okay,
stereos, and
but that's- yeah,
China.
that's not what he-
Nana's China's gone. Forget it. You're not saving
Yeah,
that.
I don't think they had Nana's China in there. Just guessing. But I don't know.
I'm with
the,
you,
The
Jay, too,
structure
that,
looks sound. You're telling me you can't throw 350 into that along with personal items and be back? I don't know. I don't know.
You might be right. It does look structurally sound around the cement. It's a hideous house. I'm sorry. I would not pay $580 for that crib. I just wouldn't.
I know. Where is this that this is worth so much?
It's near Denver, which is nice. I mean, it's not like it's Aspen.
Yeah.
You know, put that house in Aspen. I could see. Okay, yeah, you pay it.
Right.
Location. But he's in Greenwood, Greenwood Village or something near Denver. But yeah, that's a.
It's worth looking into, is all I'm saying. Hey, Hamlin Pubs, they're inviting you to their 6 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pubs' great food, their drinks, and their atmosphere. Whether you're watching the game with your buddies or out for a meal with the family, it's always a great time at Hamlin Pubs, Rochester, Clarkston, Chesterfield, 2 Shelby Township locations, as well as their newest location in Richmond.
Louisiana woman accused of some shenanigans. Some high school students in Louisiana were apparently were able to get out of school because she was this medical clinic employee was writing them phony doctor's notes. Pretty good scam, $20 each.
Yeah.
Come in, she writes you a note. Belina Fondren is accused of selling fake medical excuses to 2 students at Evans High School. She sold the doctor's notes to 2 different students on 14 occasions. Yeah. So Fondren worked in a clerical position at a clinic. She was arrested on the 23rd of October, charged with filing or maintaining false public records. I don't have a problem with this.
Hold on one second. If
Yeah.
they're $20 each, Isis, 14 occasions she writes notes.
I think
She's
it's
paid.
$280.
You fucking
That son of a bitch
son
was
of
over
a
there
bitch.
clicking.
Yeah, he was oddly quiet.
He's like, $14.
He wanted to fucking hands over the belly and get credit for you, son of a bitch.
Hey, I'm
Jesus.
allowed.
son
It's
of a bitch,
2019.
is
I'm
right.
allowed to use the things at my disposal.
Yeah, I would say that's fair. I got to give you credit, E, for, you've gotten better.
Saw where that was going.
What's today's value of that?
Yeah.
And
Present
when you
value.
do present value, sneaky
Too
son
much
of a bitch.
time in the math room and not enough time learning the English language.
It was funny, Troy. We were talking the other day, and he was talking about, oh yeah, man, I used to call myself out. I would get out of school, the way they would do it, because he lived with just his dad, Don. He's a great fucking dude, and so Don would every morning when he was going to work, he would make sure Troy was up. Yeah, you're ready for school, man. You gotta get out of here, and then Don would go to work, and then Troy would
Decide whether he wanted to go to school or not.
yeah, absolutely. And so he would call the school, and he would go, "Oh yeah, this is Mr. Courtney, Don Courtney. Troy is absolutely sick as a dog today. He's not gonna be able to make it in." And then he said the routine was the same every time the school would immediately call back to verify there was no shenanigans.
Like, Don Courtney here.
And he said I'd answer the phone the same way every time. Yellow.
Yellow.
Hello. And the fucking deep voice are like, "Hi, Mr. Courtney. We just want to make sure you go." "Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he's really in bad shape. Really in bad." And sometimes he said I'd answer it and be like, "Oh, hello. Is Don Courtney there?" "Oh, Dad, phone." And he waited a couple seconds and go, "Hello.
Yeah.
Don Courtney here."
Oh, man.
I was like, "How many times did you do that?" He's like, 30. He said, "Never got caught once. Never." Yeah.
Well, that's again something that these days would be so much. I don't know. I just feel like that's something you could have got away with back then that you probably these days would be harder. I'm not saying it would be impossible, but harder. I feel like.
I don't know that would
and
be.
I don't think it's as big of a deal anymore. I think that they, you just miss, and it's like, oh wow, they can just email you. You know, they could email someone your stuff or something like that.
Yep.
It's kind of not like just like, oh wow.
It's not this cat and mouse game anymore.
Yeah.
Definitely
The
isn't.
good old days.
Right.
Okay, boomer. Well, in high school, are you saying that's true? 'Cause, like,
Yeah,
obviously,
I think so.
college, you know, go to
Well,
class.
college,
they
you don't have
give
to
a
show up at
shit.
all, but I mean-
No, I know, but I know they're giving kids.
Yeah, it's not a super big deal for your kid to miss school.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You do get the notice, you get an email, and you get a call.
Really?
A voicemail.
Have your kids ever tried to pull any shenanigans with that, where you get a call and it's like, "You, Russell, you're not sick at home."
No, not that I'm aware of.
Yeah. It's too bad. So, yeah, it's a bad scam. So, $280,
Yeah. Works the
you.
job.
doing the math.
By the way, I must mention that our YouTube and Facebook Live streams today,
Yeah.
they're brought to you by The Blind Biz.
Very good. That's it? Just the blind biz?
The Blind Biz.
God, this fucking anti-vaccination, these anti-vaccination people, they just drive you nuts.
Yeah, sort of. I mean, I guess. I don't know the
you
answer to
thinking
this.
there's-
No, this is like a climate change thing to me. Like, yes, I suspect one thing's going on, but I don't know. There's
Yeah.
so much disinformation on both sides. I don't know. I know
I
there
mean-
is a huge influx of autism.
Do you think we're tarding up kids by over-vaccinating? I mean,
I don't think that, but
you one
I
of those
guess
people?
I guess I wouldn't 1,000% say no.
Yeah.
I don't know.
would you go watch Jenny McCarthy do a speech on it?
Let's put it this way: I had my kids vaccinated.
You did.
I
Yeah.
did.
Did they seem slower after that?
No, but I
But that
I
doesn't
did
mean
worry
one
about it.
person
You know
doesn't
what I mean?
mean anything. Dude.
I know.
No, I
But
know. But I thought doctors have regularly come out hugely against this anti-vaccine.
Yeah.
Like, they won't
Most
even let
staff, most staff.
children be around those kids.
Yeah.
So this one mother took to social media to share her decision to give out tainted lollipops for Halloween. What an asshole.
What?
Her kid, the mom, Sarah Walker, shared in a private Facebook group, Stop Help Other Children in the Community. Mandatory, what's it called? Stop Mandatory Vaccination. Okay, that's a Facebook group. That's the group name. So that her son, she mentions in this group, contracted chicken pox, and that she planned to help other children in the community by spreading the virus through the candy. What an asshole. So my beautiful son has the chicken pox at the moment. We've both decided. No, you've decided, Mom. The kid had nothing to do with it. We've both decided to help others with natural immunity this Halloween. We have the packaging open and closing down pat and can't wait to help others in the community. She later took to Facebook to double down on her argument despite widespread backlash. Dear internet trolls, you think you're right by judging me and trying to report me and get me fired? I don't care. The health and well-being of my baby is far more valuable than any job.
Hold on, man. What's your understanding of the vaccination for chicken pox? I know there's measles vaccination, but I don't think can you be vaccinated for the pox?
Chicken pox.
I thought you just
got
got
it.
it. Once you get it, you can't get it again.
Right.
So what does this have to do with anti-vax?
She's an anti-vaxxer, and so I don't know why she would want to spread just to get it out in the community. But you're opening lollipops and rubbing them on your fucking kid who's got chicken pox, and then packaging them back up and handing them out.
Maybe it's just to prove that's just what she could do, Jay. Like this is her way of trying to protest it. Is like this is something that I could prove to people. Hey, look, if you know what I'm saying. Even though she's probably a moron, I get it, but
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
maybe in her mind she
Just
couldn't.
another line item as to why she's a nutbag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Add it
we're
to the
yeah,
list.
Yeah. And she's an anti-vaxxer.
How many
And
times?
she has red hair.
Yeah. Oof.
Ugh, I know. Sorry.
Sorry. Yeah. How many times do you see children dropped off to daycare or school when they're clearly sick and contagious? Exactly. So she's, you say I'm vile and gross, like I've done something that hundreds of thousands of parents haven't already done. Really? Is that what they're doing? You bring a fucking kid clearly with chicken pox into school, like, ugh, you deal with them. I don't see that.
There's plenty of people who just openly do that at daycare. So
with
they're like,
full
dude, I got to go to
chickenpox?
work. I don't know about full chicken pox, but that's a regular occurrence where people are like, yeah, I got to go to work. I can't deal with this. I'm sending my sick kid to school and or daycare. For
Yeah.
sure.
That's selfish. I wonder if she was found guilty of food tampering or making false claims to do so, she could be facing serious prison time. I don't know about how serious, but yeah, crazy people everywhere.
Weirdo.
Yeah. Fortunately, we got lots of weirdos everywhere. God, if I was going to try to force someone to have sex, gunpoint seems like a good one. Have you ever heard of machete point?
Man, I'm not.
I mean, that seems. And a chick. This is a chick
Wow.
forcing an ex-boyfriend to bang her.
Via machete.
Her-
Well, that does that. I mean, that's intimidating, right? I mean,
Sends a
we're
message.
thinking, Lorena Bobbitt, or though she used garden shears, didn't she? No, she used the butcher knife. Someone else used garden
Yeah.
shears. Some Brazilian chick.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah. They say that this woman from Montana forced her ex to have sex at machete point. Machete's the blade, the long blade, right?
Yeah.
Intimidating. I agree with you. Very, very intimidating. She's
Used
been
to
sentenced-
whack stuff.
Yeah.
For bushwhacking and stuff. And he can just whack stuff and it just cuts right through it.
right through it.
Be very scary. Very intimidating.
Is it? What's the one that you?
That's the sigh.
Oh no. Is it a sigh?
I think so.
No.
Are you saying like a sickle?
Sickle.
Yeah,
Yeah. The sickle's good for whacking stuff too.
I think so.
Also
yeah.
intimidating.
I think a sigh is the big one that the Grim Reaper holds. I think maybe a sickle is smaller. I'm not sure the distinction. Allow me to look.
Yeah, please do, because I want to know. Because I was giving credit to the sickle for the Mr.
I always
Reaper.
think of the hammer and the sickle and the Soviet Union flag,
Yeah.
I picture it as something smaller, but let me take a look.
Yeah. I mean, are those still regularly in use? Sickle or a sigh?
I don't, boy. Yeah, the sigh is bigger. The main difference, the sickle and the sigh, is that the sickle is an agricultural tool. The sigh is an agricultural hand tool for mowing grass or reaping crops. You can see.
Or Grim Reapering, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're
See,
kind of
both
the
of those
same tool.
would very much intimidate
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So anyway, she is sentenced to. What do you think that's? What kind of time will you do in prison or jail if you steal sex at machete point from a dude?
What country is this?
This is here. This is in Montana.
It's a chick doing it to a guy.
Yeah.
That's going to make a difference. Mm-hmm. I don't know. She probably got like 6 months probation.
Sentenced to 20 years.
What?
Yes.
What?
I mean, he probably enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, honestly, let's be real here. I mean, the dude's banged her before,
It's very mechanical. Got his penis stroked to completion.
and he did. He busted. It's proving he dug it, right? District Court judge sentenced Samantha Mears in
Jesus,
connection
do we
with
have a
her
picture?
arrest last year for breaking into the victim's home.
I want to
and
see how
sexually assaulting her.
serious of an assault this was by
Yeah.
looking at the assailant first. What is this smile, smirky, like, thing she's doing with her mouth? You can't do that in a
Is she mangy?
mugshot.
She appears mangy.
She's a little mangy. I got to say, she's a lot smaller than I thought she was going to be.
Yeah.
She's way more attractive than I thought she was.
Yeah,
gonna be.
right?
I mean, if she did that to me, I'd probably be like, you know what? Shame on you. Don't do that again. But I'd be
After
cool
I
with
come,
that.
we're gonna have a real talk about this.
Yeah. Once I bust, we're going to sit down and seriously talk about this.
Go back to the mugshot. Like, what? Who lets her get away with that in a mugshot?
We've seen crazy mugshots before.
But that you're distorting your face. She's like doing this
Yeah,
grimace.
that's different.
Yeah.
They want like a normal freaking picture of you.
Well, they might, I mean, I guess maybe they did it. Maybe who knows? Maybe maybe they leaked this one out and probably made her redo it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe.
And just like said, oh, by
But
the way, this
pull up like a
Kind of a cool
world's,
top she has, huh?
I like it.
Yeah.
what is that?
Little hoodie action, kind of.
Sort of looks like she's culturally appropriating something. I don't know which culture exactly, but
I don't know. Has potential. I kind of like it.
can you Bing or DuckDuckGo like funniest mug shots? I think you'll see that a lot of people fuck around with their mug shots.
Understood, but I'm just surprised. Like, is this the only one we have? E? Because usually,
of her, that's all I.
Yeah, it's not like they go to Olin Mills, get a whole package.
yeah, but usually cops go, no, just enough with the mouth thing.
I don't know that they do. I think
you
what you
can't
do
do
in that
anything.
photo.
Bullshit.
I think so.
Sit there
dude.
and wink like Popeye. Ah, where's my spinach?
Yep.
No, you can't.
Yes, dude.
They'll be like, stop
I
it.
don't know. Somebody's.
They need you to just have a normal face so that you can fucking be identified.
30
They can't.
most absurd mug shots of all time.
I'm not saying there's not going to be ridiculous ones with
No, no,
people
no.
making
That's the
faces,
right.
but they need one for the file.
Look at that guy. You know,
And I guarantee they
it's
were
not
like,
his normal standing face.
stop it with the face, man.
See, that's what I think. I think, Jay, that's what I told you about that one. I think that they released one to maybe make her that she looked worse than, but in reality, they
Yeah.
have a regular mugshot. I don't even.
Come on, E.
I want to see the police file on this chickie, is my point.
Oh shit.
Oh my God, what the hell is that thing?
Yeah, it's a lady.
Just a lady.
Look
Wow.
at that fucking asshole.
Dude's hair.
Look at that fucking asshole.
He's twisted his hair
an asshole.
into two dreadlocks.
I look at that guy and I just go, "Oh, he's an asshole."
Oh my God, the guy
Well,
with
yeah,
that. Wow, he's got half a head.
he's got half.
not
That is
even-
horrifying. That gentleman is horrifying to look at.
I know. I saw this maybe 6 months ago or something that
sir.
that hit.
You're gonna regret that.
Yeah, the whole face tattoo thing.
Yeah.
Well, there's
Oh,
our,
there
there's
he
our
is.
boy.
Jeremy Meeks.
Yeah.
God damn it! Why do I know that?
There he
Shows you
is.
you know that name.
Jeremy Meeks, the hot felon.
Go.
Santa Claus. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
Wow, look at the hickeys
yeah.
on that dude. It's got like 80 hickeys on. Look at that hair. Looks like Medusa.
Yeah, it does.
Man or Medusa?
So,
This guy has a macaw. He's allowed to stand there with a macaw on
yeah,
his
of
shoulder.
course. Why not?
Yeah, that
Maybe
one
the
I don't
macaw's
trust, to be
getting.
honest with
Maybe
you.
the macaw's the one in trouble.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't
Well,
know.
he did the talking, maybe.
for sure. It looks like Isis's
I was
haircut.
gonna say that it's similar looking almost.
Yeah.
They could have done better though. Isis's looked better.
Yeah.
The key, I think, is really thinning out the front so that it kind of afros and just waves
Is
around.
this real? Like, did he been arrested before and he was wearing a shirt of it? Like, that's where there's a few on here where I'm almost like, is that real?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. So her 20-year sentence was the maximum penalty allowed for the sex tech. Mears was designated a Tier 2 sex offender, will have to undergo counseling and treatment. She was sentenced for sexual intercourse without consent. So according to the police records,
She was overcharged and oversentenced. There's
absolutely,
no victim here.
yeah, it's a victimless crime, and that's really when we talk about fixing the justice system as a whole. I mean, don't we all
Criminal
just want?
justice reform. Van Jones, all those guys, they wanted more than
Yes, and especially when you're talking about victimless crimes and forcing a guy to bang you. I mean, yes,
I might have said different if she looked differently. If she
Yeah.
would have looked like what I thought she was going to look like, I was ready to throw the book at her.
yeah.
But
I mean, 20 years if she was heinous.
yeah.
Even in this is probably the worst one of the three they showed. And, I
Oh,
mean,
God.
yeah, but it's not
Not great,
not
but
what
not the
you
end of the
would
world.
Think. You would
Yeah.
think it'd be some lady with like
And-
a fucking goiter on her neck or some shit or what.
Well, and to be
Goiter.
fair, we don't know what he looks like, because he's the victim. So
Yeah.
don't name him. I mean, he could be, God knows, it might be a perfect matching. So keep that in mind.
I didn't think of that.
According to police records, Mears entered the victim's home while he was out running an errand. Upon the man's return, Mears emerged from behind a bedroom door and came up behind him and placed a machete under the man's throat. She then directed her ex to get on the bed and take your clothes off. Fuck, yes, it's my dream. She come home and there's a chick there just like, fucking get him off. It's like, oh, don't have to ask me twice. After taking off her pants, she climbed on top of the victim and initiated sexual contact. The man told cops that Mears, who was holding the machete, bit him on the arm and continued to have sex with him after he attempted to end it.
But see, here's a problem, dude.
Hold on.
Okay.
He attempted to end the encounter. What do? The man added that, yes, I fucking busted a huge nut. And then he sought to push Mears off him to end the intercourse. But and that's probably why 19 and a half of these years were given to her sentence, continued to have sex with him until the thing went down. Yeah. So he busts and he's like, all right, get off. Because that feeling where you're like, all right, so beat it, you. she just wouldn't stop. Just kept hopping up and down on it until it turned into a spongy mess. Yeah.
See, here's the thing, though. What you're also not thinking about is that, like, I mean, she obviously could be a possible nut job from what we can tell.
Yeah.
And, like, maybe she's trying to fucking get impregnated by this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, she's trying
good
to,
pointy.
like
That's
he
how
knows
that
she's
works. I
a nut
forgot about
job,
that, yeah.
and she's like, I'm going to get him fucking pregnant, then he's going to owe
Yes.
me.
Yeah, you get him pregnant, and that's. Whew.
I suspect that's probably what's happening.
Yeah.
That's the reason he would probably be like, no, dude, I don't want fucking a kid with you.
Yeah, but so what? So he sees her in 6 months. She's clearly pregnant. Punch her in the gut. Kick her down the staircase.
You know, believe it or not, in my short stint of having sex, the amount of times I've had sex with girls, I did have this one girl that I hooked up with twice, and she was like, really didn't want to use a condom, and I did
she
not
wanted a
want
raw
to
dog with ease.
and I did not want to get this girl pregnant, and I didn't want to risk it at all. And she literally at one point was like, one of these times we're gonna go out and get drunk, and I'm gonna get you to not have sex without a condom. And it didn't last much longer after that, which is crazy. But like for real, like me at that time.
So
like,
did
it
she
was
raw dog?
I was
Did
a
you ever
terrible,
raw dog it
no,
with
I
her?
never did. And I was at a place in my life that was like really not a lot going on, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I think she
Well,
wanted to but
She wanted an Easus baby.
well, she saw, the problem is even though I don't have the
When-
money,
when
she
was
sees the
this?
house, she sees the manor.
Oh, hell
and,
yeah.
And then she maybe goes like, oh, if his parents aren't just going to let his kid.
When was this?
2000,
Like 6 years ago, 5 years ago?
no, 2011-ish.
So 8.
I wasn't even in Holland yet. And
So this is after you raw dogged the chick in Mackinac, though, the barfly.
Yes.
Before.
it'd be
Then he
around
ended
that
up at the
time,
clinic.
right in that time
Yeah.
frame.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember.
So he was
exactly.
stung by that one, right?
He was on quite a roll, man. It sounds like
Yeah.
at that time.
I actually did have
Can you
a little
imagine
period there.
if her little ploy or plot worked and Isis had an 8-year-old? Can you imagine what an 8-year-old Isis child would be doing
little
now?
buddy.
I mean, it'd be being raised by Mike and Fran, Fady.
Yeah.
Let's be honest here.
Right.
He would have almost no contact with his child.
No.
But can you imagine what that son of a bitch would look like? He'd be a spitting image of his old man.
Big old teeth.
Yeah.
So, see, but there was a situation
Glasses,
where
the teeth, everything.
Me, and that was like I said, that was in a real
Little plume.
place
He's
where
got
I
a
didn't.
mini little 8-year-old plume.
I don't think I technically had a job yet. I think it was from the internship onto trying to find a radio job. So my point is, like with this guy, me in that situation, that girl had a thought of like maybe I think like
Yeah, there's myriad reasons why you wouldn't want to have sex with a chick holding a knife to your neck. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Pregnancy would be one, yeah.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have been my initial thought, but yeah, that's a good thought. Ian.
Who knew that there were people in this world that were like actively seeking to get impregnated by the Big E?
I know.
That's shocking, man.
Well, she never said that was the case. I just that was more my suspicion. Like she never
Speculation
said
and
that,
conjecture.
but she seemed to be very like into wanting it to happen, and
Yeah.
I just felt like that was the situation maybe.
On that note, we started with E shitting his pants again, and we'll end on E almost being raped and
Yeah.
yeah, someone forcing you to come inside her. You could just pull out though. She can't really
but
keep you in there.
Yeah, I know, but I was
Oh, it's a little
best pull-out game.
tad late. Yeah, got there tad late. I'll be honest, guys. The
didn't
whole
trust-
time it was going on, all I was thinking was definitely pulling all the way out and early. And then I just got one shot off, and then I pulled out and like
I don't trust
two
myself.
little shots ended up on her stomach. But
Right.
can they get pregnant off the one shot, or do you have to put the whole load in there?
Exactly.
So, yeah. Anyways, how we doing for email?
We
Jay?
do have some email.
What do we got?
Let's see. Mike writes in, Jay, I've been house hunting and trying to find the best location to raise my kids. There's a house we really like in Oakland, Michigan. Didn't know that was a city, which falls under the Lake Orion schools. I've come to the conclusion that Lake Orion would be a pleasant place for my kids to attend school.
Beautiful.
It's we're living as a vacation, Mike. It's
Uh-huh.
a beautiful place. And
Lakes.
Oakland,
Oh.
Michigan. Oakland, Michigan, I think is a pretty high rent district east of Lake Orion.
Really?
So this guy Mike, this listener Mike, I think
Doing pretty well.
might be in the upper echelon, if I'm reading this correctly. He says, my real question is there a bad or poor part of town? In other words, are there areas to avoid looking at because my kids will be made fun of for living there?
So
I know
he's wondering if
every
there's a-
every city has that part. You can tell me, Jay.
Is he asking if there's an 8-mile divider line in Lake Orion?
I think he's
Basically?
asking if there's a flamingo trailer park in Lake Orion.
Well, is there the nickel in your version of the nickel?
You know, Lake Orion is a lake community.
It's where living is a
as
vacation.
indicated by its
Yeah.
name.
I think there's always these places. You know, like when I grew up, there was the big rivalry is Milford v. Lakeland High School,
Yeah.
and although Lakeland was in
White
White
Lake.
Lake, you know, that was a big thing for sure. Like
So
Milford
which
people-
one? Who won?
Oh, Milford was the one where people were like, "Oh, Lakeland, you trailer trash."
Yeah.
Blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
really?
Oh,
Lakeland was thought of as trailer
Yes.
trash? Okay. I would have
sure,
thought that was.
because- but not compared to Lakeland, White Lake, White Lake, Michigan. You know,
I don't know much about it.
Yeah, so I mean, Milford is like Milford.
Well, as to listener Mike's question, I will say I'm not sure there's a shitty area of Oakland. I'm not super familiar with Oakland, but I think that's a really nice area.
Could you do a little discovery for him? Maybe,
you know-
maybe drive around the neighborhoods
Yeah,
and
sure.
take a few notes, jot some things down.
Lake Orion. I mean, there's some older areas because it is kind of a lake community, but I don't think there's like
A code word.
No, I honestly don't think there's this one part like, oh boy, you gotta stay away from there.
It's a dog whistle. I'm just telling you. Some older. We all know what you're saying. So where is this older part? Maybe you should check that out first.
Let's see, probably the south side. Oof. Yeah, I don't. Actually, it's kind of interspersed because again, like lake areas have some older. Like a lake will have a fucking huge house on it, and then right next door it'll have a shitty small one. You know that, you know. Or an older one, older one across the
It
street.
used to be
that
essentially a cabin.
Yes,
or something.
exactly.
Cottage, yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that, but I don't know. I don't think there's an awful area, Mike, listener Mike. So yeah, I'd love to have you up there.
Yeah.
Definitely. Mandy writes in, "Hey boys, temperature.
Mandy.
Temperature. That's why there's no retractable roof at LCA. The NBA and NHL have strict temperature requirements for their respective beautiful games, hockey being the most beautiful," says Mandy. Also, not only do we have the LED grid on the ceiling, we have the world's largest seamless center-hung scoreboard. Yes,
Really?
Yes, they do. Holy
No
shit.
kidding.
That thing has over 11 million LEDs. Stunning, says Mandy.
Wait, what's the one in the Cowboys Stadium? Isn't that thing's...
Center hung, I think, is the key distinction.
I thought theirs was center hung, no? Where the punter kept hitting it and stuff.
Never
It was
been there.
massive.
Largest seamless center hung scoreboard. Is there a seam in the one? Is seam the
you
key?
know what? Is if they're getting this fucking claim because of a seam,
Yeah, well,
that's a little
seams
cheap,
matter.
is it not?
Seams matter.
Oh, Cowboy Stadium, yeah, shithole. It's got a seam or two in their fucking scoreboard.
right. That's what
That's
te-
4 times the size of ours otherwise.
10 years of technology will do. Takes out the seams.
Yeah, no seams.
Mandy continues. Also, you guys were chatting about those Hoors getting a lifetime ban from all MLB stadiums, and there wouldn't be any way to police that, we surmised. Wrong, says Mandy.
Bullshit.
While it could take some time for all venues to adopt, facial recognition is rapidly becoming the norm. It will be used in connection with your ticket to allow entry and will allow venues to keep out the unsavories, registered sexual predators, criminals, and those assholes who are banned for whatever reason they got themselves banned. So does that knock out StubHub then? Like,
Oh, you
You're
know
gonna
what
have
I
to-
was thinking though? The problem is, so maybe it's not going to necessarily just like if you buy a secondhand ticket, you can't use that ticket, but it would stop you if your face had been recognized as something that was banned. Maybe you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, they put you in a database.
Yeah,
So it doesn't. You don't have to necessarily match the ticket. They're just looking at your face.
I just
when
thought
you come
about that
through.
just now because I remember.
What about face paint?
What about a mask?
Yeah, great
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
I mean, does it bother facially recognizing you in a skull mask?
Well, maybe if it's a face paint, if you've paint your face, then they say, look, we got to check your ID. We have a database, and it'd be fast to scan or something.
We've all seen Mission Impossible.
Sure.
You can-
I mean, if you like, the Lions today are playing the Raiders, and we all know about the black hole. Some of those crafty characters. If these chicks wanted to go and do the spiked shoulder pads and crazy fucking face paint,
Yeah.
there's no way. You know, going to a baseball game, you might stand out for looking a little weird dressed like someone like that, but you'll get in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They won't figure you out. I promise you.
But these rando chicks, I guess they'll, put their face in a database and, you're the one with the boobies.
Oh, flashed a titty. Banned for life.
Also, Mandy says,
If a guy flashed a titty, no problem. No ban for life.
free the nipple.
How does that feel, ladies? How does that feel? Jay and I can go on camera, flash our titties
I've done it.
all day long, and nobody cares. You pull out a delicious, voluptuous titty on cam, booted for life.
Done.
Not fair.
Mandy would like to point out also that Comerica Park opened in 2000, not 2001.
Okay, I don't even
Okay.
know if I remember.
Winky face.
By the way,
Winky
loophole I
face.
just thought of. Why don't those girls just, whenever they go to a ball game, identify as men? And then they were just men who pulled their titties out at a game. No one would care.
point. Great
you know?
point.
I identified as a man that day at the World Series. Sorry.
Yep. Those weren't female nipples.
Nope. Not
male
big old,
nipples, no
delicious
problem.
looking titties. I'm a man. I'm a man.
We'll save the rest for tomorrow.
Very good. Thanks, everybody, for hanging with us. Hope you have a great rest of the day. Back tomorrow. I think Newberg's coming in because he's got that speech later this week doing the TEDx Detroit talk. He's really looking forward to that. So he was either coming in today or tomorrow. I think tomorrow or Tuesday. I think it's tomorrow. So we'll look forward to that. He's always a lot of fun. And enjoy the rest of your day. Go Lions. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.